This
black cook.
This is GAC.
Yeah, and
The Pat Boone's coming in.
Pat Boone comes in and
We want you to meet him.
Yeah, but
So you're going to have lunch at the conference room.
yeah, so I go in the conference room and in comes Pat Boone and he gives the cook a big hug and she says, "I have a big surprise for you, Mr. Boone." He says, "What's that?" She said, "I got pecan pie for you." "Well," he said, "I'm so glad I came because I love your pecan pie." That was my introduction to
Okay.
Pat. And
Yeah. So you can't eat a piece of that without thinking of Pat Boone. But just to clarify, so your conversations with the Banger Punta
Yeah.
about Harley, did that precede all this business with Piper, or was it in the midst of, like, Banger Punta came to the rescue of Piper, so they became kind of the enemy, very much.
Yeah,
Very much so.
that's right. They walked in the room that they had already started to buy into it.
But when did the Harley stuff go, with the coin flipping?
That was after I met him and we had this conversation.
And was that? But that was had already started making your play for Piper.
Right.
Okay.
Well, remember, I got drunken.
Over
There
the.
you go.
Oh my God. Okay.
Oh boy.
So I give you
Thank
a
you.
coffee.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. Maybe you thought that they'd like give up on Piper and go chase Harley then or something. Maybe your strategy was that.
No, I had no strategy.
Sorry, George.
Yeah.
I'm just leaving this here by the door for you.
Oh, okay.
It's a little Cabernet that I like.
Oh my God. Thank you.
It was First Boston who got Banger into it.
But it was after that you had the conversation about Harley. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I have a friend who makes, my friend Richard Johnson from Page 6. He makes pecan pie every Thanksgiving, and he puts about a bottle of bourbon in it. About a fifth of bourbon. All right, so the Banger Punta Corporation, by September 1969, Banger controlled 51% of
Right.
Piper shares, while Chris Kraft controlled 42.5%.
Right.
Chris Kraft Industries had spent $44 million to purchase its shares. Does that sound about right?
Probably.
Siegel had been watching the developments with Banger and Piper, but before Banger had bought control of Piper in September 1969, 4 months earlier in May, Chris Kraft filed suit against Banger, Piper, and First Boston. Chris Kraft alleged a number of misleading acts, chief among them being the valuation that the Banger Punta Corporation had placed on its railroad company, Banger and Aroostook, In short, in order to complete the takeover of Piper, Chris Kraft alleged that Bangor had greatly overstated the value of the railroad. The initial lawsuit brought by Chris Kraft would drag on for over 9 years.
That's right.
And finally end up in the United States Supreme Court. It was a roller coaster ride of ups and downs. In 1971, the Federal District Court dismissed Chris Kraft's original complaint. Though dismissed, the case brought to light details that caused the SEC to file charges against Bangor, Piper, and First Boston. Then in 1973, the Federal Appeals Court reversed the district court's decision and then went on to award Chris Kraft damages of $1.6 million plus $600,000 in interest. So at that point, you must have been feeling pretty good. You must have felt vindicated.
1.6 million.
Yeah, that's not
40 million in it. But the fact that First Boston the fact that the SEC had sent the head of enforcement to the Second Circuit, which is where they always win. And Bangor saying that we have been, in essence, they awarded us the 35 million.
So it looked hopeful.
But the problem was Bangor didn't have 35 cents. Well, they did have some assets.
Yeah. Our railroad.
They were in the boat business and they were doing well in it.
So then it dragged on. In 75, the appeals court restated the damages in Chris Kraft's favor and increased the damages to $25.8 million. Finally, the case went before the U.S. Supreme Court, where the court overturned the damages awarded to Chris Kraft.
You know,
I mean, I can't imagine your emotions throughout this whole
all I
thing.
do is read briefs all day long. And I'd make them repeat how we were threatened and that the SEC had come to New York to file a complaint, which was called off. And I guess what really happened behind the scenes, Sam Butler was my lawyer up to that point. And he told me, if you sue First Boston, you'll lose.
Mm-hmm.
But it might have been a client of his.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They're certainly big, though. I wonder if they were. Having lost his bid to control Piper and having lost. First of all, Herb, let me just, while I think of this U.S. Supreme Court thing. Did you physically go to Washington to the grand courtroom to hear these arguments?
Mm-hmm. It was very disappointing.
How long was that all resolved in one day, or how many? I mean, I guess you wait for them to issue their opinion, but
Yeah, it's like 6 months
Yeah.
to get the opinions cleaned up.
yeah,
But
was it? What do you remember your feelings in the
I couldn't
court?
believe we lost that.
Yeah,
What the Supreme Court finally did, no court that heard any part of this case ever suggested, and that was that we didn't have what they call standing.
yeah,
Well, who would have standing if not the opposition party?
yeah.
You know, if both of us are fighting over something, it seems to me that that's That's not.
You mean they essentially argue that you shouldn't